Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are conveniently getting a lot of good press after just happening to show up to a Uvalde shooting victim's family. I got a lot of thoughts on this. Welcome to Popcorn Palace. I am Andy Signor, and they say charity is great, of course, but when you got to show it off, is it as great? I brought in Pete Dinah here. So happy to have you back. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me today.
I think we share a lot of the same feelings on this, and that's why I wanted to bring you in, because I heard you're getting trolled just for even calling this out, and I wanted to have your back because, listen, let me just disclaimer before I let Pete Dinah rant. Of course, we should be supporting these families. This is not a knock or an attempt to try to mock them or make fun of them. I feel like they are being used. That's what's really frustrating here. This feels like a photo op that, of course, this family and this person's going to stand up for Harry and Meghan because they showed up. And this is not an attack on this guy, his family in any stretch of the imagination. It's because of the history of Meghan and Harry and them conveniently showing up to get this photo op, which is now everywhere. I'm sorry, I find it suspicious. Look at the way Meghan's holding the cake to ensure every single camera gets. It's like she brought the cake at this woman's birthday. There's so many little points to show that they knew this would be a perfect photo op for them to get nothing but glowing reviews, and anybody who dare criticize them will look like the bullies that Meghan just ranted about at her South by Southwest panel. This is all calculated, and it's frustrating. So I wanted to talk about it. But again, this is not a knock at this family. I'm glad they showed up. It is what it is. Of all the things they could do, at least these guys are getting some attention. The Uvalde families deserve attention. But Pete Dinah, do you hear where I'm coming from? Is this frustrating for you as well to see Meghan's spotlight holding the cake?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how do you show up for a family, first of all, that you don't know? She doesn't know these people from Adam. She knows they've gone through a horrible situation, and she wants to show that I'm there for you. I'm there for you. You're strangers. I want to support you. Oh, it's your birthday. Here, let me light some candles and present this to you because I'm a nice person. I want people to see me doing something nice for the victims of this shooting. But what sadly this family does not know is that Meghan appears to want to seem sympathetic and caring to people, but the reality is she's not. We know there are many family members that she completely has ghosted for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not too good for her. She's above, the other people in her life that don't have anything to do or that could do anything for her. But these people can do something for her. You see, they can give her positive PR. They can show her to be a compassionate type person. The reality is not that. And that is what is so sickening to me, that you use people who have gone through horrible things to benefit yourself. You're benefiting yourself by having cameras there, by knowing that this John, whose birthday of his aunt they were celebrating, is going to tweet this out, is going to put a lot of social media out there for people to pick it up as a news story. Because
Well, and just to echo, it's people, every major outlet has this. There's no way Meghan's PR team didn't forward this out to these outlets. It's everywhere.
Yes.
No
Yes.
offense to this Uvalde teen. I don't believe every outlet was following his feed, waiting for this to happen. This got tipped off to them so Meghan and Harry could use this as a PR op to say, look at People Magazine says we did a surprise visit. Continue. Sorry, I just want to make sure we react with that.
You can't show up to support your own family when there are no cameras. You can't show up to support your father. Your children, Meghan and Harry, have not even seen their grandfathers. At least Lily hasn't seen the king. Thomas Markle hasn't seen both of his grandchildren. It is sickening to me that you can pull this PR stunt on people who are clearly victims and to benefit yourself. It is unconscionable to me that you can be so calculating and cold and make people believe one thing when the reality is something else. The reality is Meghan would not show up unless there was something in it for her. She doesn't show up to be a person that is kind behind, the closed doors. And that's the one thing that I loved about Princess Diana, is that she would show up and she would tell people, that she would do what she was doing for them, not to get public sympathy or to get PR behind it, but because of the kindness of her heart. And Meghan wants to perpetrate that. She wants to pretend that she is a compassionate person. And it's not authentic, and people can see that. But what I don't like is how people will now see this that don't know Meghan's story, and they will vouch for her that she's a nice person. How dare you say these negative things about her? Hey, look, when someone tells you a person's character and you choose not to believe it, that's what I find to be really sad, because that's the situation here. People are not going to believe it. I'm getting trolled, like you said, for even saying something.
Well,
So
and to
it's
echo it,
heartening.
the Sidley twins are coming on this week as well. They'll have a video. I've taped it already because we're pre-banking content this week, guys. But we're going to go through an opportunity right as she met Harry, where she staged a photo op to look more famous. Like Meghan is notorious for this, guys. She stages these photo ops.
Yeah.
She's, oh, you're here for me, and like literally a stack of Meghan Markle autographs just happen to be ready. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
her fellow suits casts, they don't have, like, who are more famous. There's so many examples of how Meghan does this, and even just these photos, Meghan's front and center. Like, there's a way to
It's
do this
all
kind of
about
charitable
her.
action, right? Be done it
Yeah.
without, and even saying to the family, listen, please don't post the photos. You can take them, keep them within you, but I really don't want this to
Yeah.
become something. We're just here for you guys. We're so happy to be here, but hopefully it'll protect our privacy. And they would have, right? They would have totally done that, or maybe they, whatever. But
Yeah, they would
this
have,
is
I'm
such a
sure.
clear photo
It's
op. They knew.
disgusting.
She went to this event knowing these pictures would get out, and is now encouraging these photos to get out and arming her fans with, see, and then anybody who criticizes, we're the bad guys, right?
The
It's
bad
it's
guy.
it's really troubling.
And we're being trolled. You talk about, she's talking about how she's being trolled when she was pregnant with her children while she was on this panel. No, she is encouraging, I believe, other people to troll. You know, we're told that if we speak out against Meghan, we're to be trolled. And that's what's happening. I've been trolled so bad just for mentioning that this family is being used. Clearly, they're being used. Who cannot see that? I just, it's so, you know what Meghan has done? She has caused more divide and more negativity since coming onto the global stage because of her own behavior, the way she carries herself, and the way she allows people to protect her by bullying other people like myself. And it's like she has done more harm than good by being on the global stage. You know, like
Well,
Diana brought people
100. She's
together. Meghan tears people apart.
Well, I was going to bring up because she's really, in my opinion, calculated in the manipulation of just the whole race stuff that she's brought up
Yeah,
has
I mean,
triggered this
even
whole
trolling.
conversation. When most of the time, every time it has nothing to do with the race. I just posted up a video last week talking about her sinister plot with South by Southwest and the connections and all the money, why she's sponsoring the event and who she's actually giving that money to. It is dark. What's actually the truth? And I put the thumbnail, and then someone came at me. Oh, you're putting a dark photo of a black woman, you racist. It's like literally AI uses thousands of images to make the images and spit out what I have. It looked like her, and there's no darkening I did on my, and I've showed this, but she's now rallied this base to come at us, to label us. See, look, you don't even realize the history of I'm like, what? This topic has nothing to do with race. I didn't darken anything.
Nothing to do
They
with
refuse,
race.
and she uses these things, and I think gets other mixed race people who do probably have a lot of opinion and emotion on it, justifiably so, to rally for her from their own emotions, right, rather than actual fact, which is that this woman has basically avoided a lot of her black family for the longest time, has declared herself, never really declared herself as black until it was more convenient for her.
Right. And not to only talk about the security
Yep.
around going to a family's house that you don't know who's in their family, and you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position.
She's a massive hypocrite.
A massive hypocrite. I mean, the family in Georgia who she has never met were so happy for her. Why can she not just go meet her own relatives? If you are that caring of a person and that
Because she's worried they'll put the
passionate,
photos on social media. Oh, wait.
it's like it's just mind blowing to me. It really is, that you can be that much of a hypocrite, that much of a user, to use people like this that have suffered horrible things, and your thought is to use it as a photo op or your positive PR.
She
That is a
uses her
sick
race.
person
She uses anything she can to rally, to amplify I'm a victim
to
or
amplify it.
connect with other victims. So then I'm
Yeah.
part now, and it's like almost she's part of the Uvalde family, which
Right.
like they already previously didn't they like try to Archewell made a bench or something and then declared a
Yeah.
whole play. They've already like under delivered for these families before, and now their way to make up is we're going to show up for photo ops.
We're gonna show up
I'm
for a
waiting for her
photo
to
op.
start a cameo. Go ahead.
I mean, you just look at it. You think she's just looking for victims. Well, where are some victims at? So I can me find me some victims so I can help my PR. You
Yep.
know, it's like
It's
she's
like that
trolling
school where
people.
the underprivileged school in New York, where then they
Yeah.
put all the fancy stuff around for her to show up and made them all exploited them as well. She has a history of this, guys. So yeah, it is scary and sad. And again, no disrespect to this family. I can get why they're swooped up in it,
Yeah,
why
I
they're
can see
excited.
that.
Someone famous, royal is giving them attention. They deserve the attention. This is not a knock or hatred or mocking them at all. It is just frustrating because, as you said, they're being used by this woman for her own PR benefits. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I think we just need to keep amplifying that this is someone that is not out there to do good things for the sake of doing good things. I think as much as she tries to get out her positive PR, we need to come out and keep amplifying the truth so that more people can be protected from this vulture of a woman and her husband who are trying to build a brand around the suffering of other people. That is what we need to continue to do.
And if you want to continue to do that, you can subscribe over to P. Dinah on YouTube, where she gets a lot of this. Go show her some support. Don't let the sugars win. They're coming at us, but we don't stop, do we? We get each other's
Right.
back, P. Dinah. And in order to do that, you can subscribe there and here.
Yes.
Popcorn Palace, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and tell us your thoughts below. What do you think? Are we off base? Do any of you disagree with us? I want to hear your thoughts. Or do you agree based on a lot of you? I know you've done the homework. Do you think this is another example of Rachel, Meghan, using people to get what she wants and make herself look better? This is, I think, PR phase 2.0, where she's realizing a lot of the writing's on the wall and she needs to step up and paint herself up as this well-spoken feminist icon lecturer. And oh my gosh, we got lots more to talk about regarding that speech, which we'll do this week with other guests as well. But man,
Yeah.
don't buy it. Don't
I'll
buy
be
it.
talking
She's
about
tricking
it.
you.
Yeah.
She's tricking them. All right, guys, stay tuned for more. Thank you, P. Dinah. Everybody, leave your comments down below. Stay tuned, and we got lots more for you this week. Appreciate you all.